We see it every day. Our connections in this web of taking food and giving money for the seller's time, feeding family and accepting their thanks, teaching others new tasks and welcoming their ideas. Even greetings and salutations are a way to reciprocate appreciation and a way to keep the strands of our web strong. Most people do this naturally when in situations with other human beings. But do we treat the environment with the same amount of respect as the flesh and blood beings we pass every day? The trees you see are the world's lungs, and the rivers are its blood, pumping into the oceans that surround us on all sides, with waves that sustain our lives by stabilizing climate temperatures, deep waters disguising organisms that produce half of the world's oxygen, and seashells that balance delicate ecosystems in the water and on the shore. Yes, seashells. The same things that draw you to the beach are exactly the things that need to stay there. You stoop down to pick up those delicate sculptures of the sea, and sometimes you find a crab glaring at you from inside. If he could, he would speak on behalf of the polluted waters that are slowly turning opaque, on behalf of the diversity that's dying beneath the murky surface, and on behalf of the food chains that are disintegrating from the carbon dioxide that makes every simple life process more onerous for the ocean animals. The same seashells that you display in your home could have been the entire home for a snail or a hiding place for an octopus. You took them because they were empty. But how would you feel if someone new moved into your own home while you were at work or shopping at the grocery store? You've arrived where your house should be with an armload of boxes and bags to sustain your family for the next week or two. What do you do when you find yourself without a place to come home to? Thankfully, our homes are not easily moved. We can live where we please, and in most cases, we are not bothered by more than bills and bank loans. We should be thankful when we can feel so large, when we do not fear a 50-foot giant coming to snatch the roof from over our heads or decide our family would make a delectable dinner. We may feel dwarfed by a body of water like the Caribbean Sea, which crashes against the eastern shore of Costa Rica with over 1 million square miles of whales that weigh 15 tons, 7 different species of dolphins, and green sea turtles that lay 600 to 700 eggs per nesting season. And we may even feel dwarfed by the Costa Rican sky, where brown pelicans soar, before diving for fish in the sea below, keeping the population under control. Where toucans chase one another from tree to tree, putting on a show for all to see, and where palm fronds sway atop the trees that offer a perch for birds and whose roots keep sand dunes in place. We should feel humbled when we turn our face to the salty wind, which generates the waves that help circulate energy and heat around the planet. And what is a beach without its waves shaping the coastline? Without the powerful sound of its waves crashing and then receding as the ocean exhales and inhales relentlessly throughout the day. The sea is an environment off limits to oxygen breathers, yet its inhabitants produce over half of the oxygen that we breathe. We have learned so little about the mysteries of the sea, explored only 5% of the thing that covers 70% of the earth. Yet we dip into the small portion we are familiar with for entertainment, jewelry, food, fun, science, and souvenirs. We take and take and take, and give nothing in return but our refuse. We don't want to be weighed down by garbage, so we tossed it on the ground without a second thought as consequence. But the real consequences duplicate as the debris is drawn into rivers, blown across beaches, or swept into the sea. It all might be out of sight, but the direct and indirect repercussions will weigh heavier than the task of finding a trash can would have been. You don't see the 10 tons of plastic fragments carried into the Pacific Ocean every day, but you should know the consequences. You may not witness the sea turtles swallow plastic bags disguised as jellyfish, see them suffer with internal infections, or starve to death. But their slow extinction is real. You may not see the manta ray fight for its life while entangled in the forgotten fishing line, but its suffering is real. You may not realize that raking the beach to clear trash erodes the land, tears up beach plants, and disturbs turtle nests, but the starving ecosystems are real. You may not witness the child step on jagged glass concealed beneath the sand, but their pain is real. And you may not live to see the extinction of the hawksbill sea turtle, a crucial link in the health of the coral reefs and seagrass they feed off. You may not live to see the waves flood our shores when the coral reefs that protect the coastline are suffocated, become white and fragile, and are shattered by strong currents and storms. You may not live to see fish become inedible, made toxic from the trash they ingested themselves. You may not live to see beaches clear of seashells, but cluttered with trash. You may not live to see an untouchable acidic ocean of carbon dioxide, the obsolescence of fishing industry jobs, and the elimination of ecotourism. You may not live to see the death of our world. But we can keep a brighter future alive, starting today.